Hello, good evening to the Dugout. Why are you late today, Harshit?
We are late today.
You're,
Not me in isolation, na. We as a
yeah,
unit
when I
got
said
late.
you, I'm asking sports today.
Yeah,
You are
represent.
the spokesperson. So answer.
Uh, why are we late today? I got stuck in the rain for a while. I had gone out of office for something.
No, the more genuine excuse, your alarm didn't ring, which is a fact. So
That was, I just got late to say good morning to our family members this morning. But they'll hear a very nice good morning from me tomorrow.
there's terrible rain in Delhi NCR.
Yeah.
It's not stopping. The whole north of India, actually. From J&K to Himachal to Uttarakhand to Punjab. It's reeling.
It's so bad.
Right outside our office,
Yeah.
there is water.
However, I would say, and this is something that Pawan and I were talking about today, we've seen heavier downpour days in the past as well. Days, I'm saying, not holistically.
This has been the
yeah,
wettest month.
But it's been that's what I'm saying. Holistically, it's been worse. But I'm just saying, in isolation, there've been worse days, and that has been visibly seen on the roads as well, where water level is knee deep, water level logging is that bad. However, in front of our office at least, and it's a contrasting image to what we're seeing in other parts of Delhi and
Yeah.
that ways it's not as bad outside our office this year.
That way, I mean, that I've said previously as well. Compared to Gurgaon and Delhi, Noida is far better in the monsoons. You don't get that kind of flooding. I was seeing some pictures from Delhi and Gurgaon, though we've already seen it's in bad shape. But despite so much rain, it's still quite manageable. In fact, it takes me about half an hour of driving within Noida to get to office, and nowhere did I get water. But the fact that the last 60 seconds of my journey was where the water, also not totally unmanageable, but yeah, it was there. Anyway, what is the big news from the world of sport that we are discussing today?
Couple of things. Both interestingly have a Virat Kohli. He's the protagonist in both the stories, and we'll touch upon both. I first want to draw the attention of our viewers to the first bit of news that from Virat Kohli we got early this morning, and that was Virat, in a way, for the very first time, opening up, breaking his silence on the whole stampede that had taken place a couple of months back. 4th of June was that wretched day, I would say, a day that was meant to be for celebration, for jollity, happiness, was anything but that because of what we all saw. And Virat then talked about what is it that the emotion was with him, why it's taken this long as well. There's a bit of a reference to the fact that it was taking time for players as well, including himself, to process the whole grief, and they've put out a statement. Not just Virat Kohli, his teammate and now his captain in Rajat Patidar, both of them have put out statements, not in individual capacities, but of course it has come through them because the franchise has put out these statements for all of us. And if we were just to look at what is it that Virat has said, he said that something that was to be one of the happiest moments in the franchise history turned out to be something tragic, and we look forward to going ahead with greater care, respect and responsibility. I think those words are chosen very he's been very selective with the words, because I think somewhere everyone realizes that RCB also were the stakeholder, which is why the word responsibility I see there.
But why didn't it come directly from Virat? I mean, this has not come from any of his handles. This has come via RCB, is it?
Yes, that's true. Not from any of his personal handles. I don't know why though. If this is to again, if has this something to do with RCB cares or something, just because you're trying to build that thing up as well. The first time we heard from the franchise a couple of days back was also with regards to this very incident, but also we were introduced to RCB cares. I don't know if this has to do in line with that.
I don't know. The case is still on, so the matter is still sub judice, as in there is no verdict that has come out as yet. There are two different decisions that have been made, but both at different level. It's not the verdict that has come from the civil courts. One came from a tribunal which is separate, which is looking at it in individual capacity. One came from the government setup committee, that is also in an individual capacity, but the real case is still on, so we haven't heard the last of it. And every other party is being scrutinized, whether it is the government's role, whether it is the cops role, whether it is the franchises role, whether it is the event managers. So plenty of parties that they are looking at, and so in the midst of that, before even a decision has come out, we've seen RCB come out with two statements. One, that they came out with one statement then about how much money, about 25 odd lakhs that they'll be giving each family member, to now Virat talking about it. But which is fair, because the last statement that he came up with was on 5th, right after it had happened, and that he had said that he's lost for words. So if it's effectively taken him 3 months. 3 months to really think of the right words. So this is what you're reading right now. What you're telling is a culmination of a thought given for
over
3 months.
But more than that, I actually feel, given how, given how things work, and this is a new entity that they're trying to create. RCB Cares is a new entity, and I'm sure they want to give it a lot of attention as well. And the kind of momentum that you can build around it right now, that momentum and the timing is of essence over here, I feel, which is why you see two of the most popular faces right now, their captain, and of course there's nobody bigger than a Virat. I think this has been done keeping in mind that only, because see, you can take as much time when grieving has no time limit that way. So it's time for you to...
Okay, grieving, in fact, you can grieve for a year, 2 years, whatever, that's fine. But I just felt that whether it was the statement that came from the franchise, and I'm not going to mince my words, even the statement that now comes from Virat, I think it's a little too late. Fine, you were at that moment when it happened, and I was there in Bengaluru. I saw it unfold in front of me. I'm sure, when somebody... you see a tragedy of floods, you see so many other things where you see a tragedy unfold, you don't wait for 3 months for you to address it, right? And I'm okay, fine, I can understand when you're actually setting up a plan about how much to compensate and RCB Cares and all, that still takes time because you're organizing something. But I think words to express what you felt shouldn't take that long. To me, it seems like an afterthought. It should have just come immediately. Sure, you can't do it the next day, but I'm sure a week, 10 days is enough for you to at least communicate that.
I was somewhere trying to get into that only because I think all of this is for RCB Cares and see, Virat, so much that whatever the franchise has done till now and will do, Virat will always be at the heart of it. That is part of his contractual obligation perhaps as well. And perhaps little to do, even the statement, little to do how he may personally be feeling right now or may have felt. I think this is more for RCB Cares and less of what Virat Kohli really
But why
feels.
okay, fine. So then why shouldn't he be mentioning what he cares?
Because I agree with you, if that were the case, I've seen him do the regular stuff as well. He's been spotted around in London. It could be London, it could be Mars, it could be Argentina. I don't care where he is, but I'm just saying, if this was really truly Virat speaking, perhaps this would have happened much earlier. The timing of it is for RCB Cares.
Okay, fine. But I'm saying still, I'll take your point. I'm not disputing that. Okay, maybe because you're trying to set up this whole, RCB Cares and you want to send this message out that you're really bothered about it, and it's all, within a few days of the statement from the franchise, Virat's, and then the announcement of the compensation, all of them happening together. So you really want to create that momentum of what you're trying to achieve, which is in effect, for a lack of a better word, damage control after what has happened. But I'm saying, irrespective of whether this is for RCB Cares or not, what he really feels about is something that, just as RCB has used it, he could have used his social media platform, because I'm sure fans would love to hear for it. You didn't have to wait for an RCB campaign to be out to express what you feel. You could have expressed what you felt earlier as well, and I think it should have happened much earlier. Secondly, you're right. In all this while he lives a very private life, which he's completely entitled to, but we also saw pictures of him watching the Wimbledon which happened soon after all of this happened. I don't think that is something that could have, you could say what you want, but I don't think it would have, for a hardcore RCB fan or for those people who were affected, whether the ones who got injured or died, for their next of kin, I don't think these pictures would have had any sort of soothing effect. It wouldn't have been great as well.
Agreed.
So, I don't know, you can take it on face value. But I think, as I said, I've said it before, and I'm not blaming RCB alone. If you've seen my reportage, I've blamed all people there. That includes the franchise, that includes the cops, that includes the government, who I think are the most responsible for this. I've said it previously, and to just pin the blame on one entity, as a lot of people were doing on RCB, I think was unfair. I've made it very clear. I also said a lot of people were pointing fingers at Virat. I've said it in the past. You can see my reportage that it was very unfair to point it to Virat or any other player. They really didn't know what was happening at that time. So I will not blame them for that. But right now, as I said, if I have to speak the truth, then just as I ensured that the players don't get unduly blamed or fingers are not pointed at them for something that they did not do, similarly, this is something they could have done. And I think a bit more empathy would have been nice to see, both in terms of how you approach things later, where all you're seen in public, and sending a message out. I'm sure that could have been done. And in fact, that time I had said that even when you knew that happened and maybe the function was happening and you didn't know the details, as I reported, it was not... but by the time the ceremony got over and you were heading to the airport, you knew what had happened. A lot of them could have headed to the hospital. You could have delayed it by another day wherever everyone had to travel and visited those people in hospital, But none of that was happening. Now, words, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, that's not the topic that we're discussing. You said we have a different topic to discuss, so...
Yeah, and I said that Virat Kohli is somehow, he finds himself in
what's the question that you're asking?
Middle of both those stories that we have in mind for our viewers. The main issue at hand, and let's try and get the bull by its horn. There is a fitness test. Actually, grammatically being right, there are two fitness tests that happened. One in India, one outside of India. Also, many are saying it's a first, that a fitness test for the Indian team, for an Indian player, happened outside of India. It's always happened before a big tournament in India, and we've seen those tests happen at the NCA, which also was the case this time. At the Center of Excellence, BCCI's facility in Bengaluru is where quite a lot of Indian team players reached, and they had a fitness test over there. The Bronco test, though, the one that we earlier reported on as well, that was perhaps not part of this one. But your usual yo-yo tests and other fitness drills happened, and quite a lot of Indian players turned up. But Virat was not one of them. He had a test, but like I said, there's another test that had happened for another player, and that was Virat Kohli, for whom that test was arranged in London, and it happened in the supervision of somebody that the BCCI had sent. Virat also, as I learn, has cleared that test. And
so did they hire someone there to do it, or they flew someone from here?
There was some supervision that was done. So
I'm guessing you would have hired experts
somebody,
there. No point sending someone to fly from here. Or do you think
because
someone flew from the NCA to...
Because see, if you're sending somebody from here to there and then asking to come back, the same could have been done, that you asked that person to come here, then you ask him to go back.
One guy from your medical team going to London by economy class vis-a-vis first class. I mean, it's not the same.
I'm guessing 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh rupees wouldn't have...
No, money is not an issue either for Virat or BCCI. I mean, that was just said in good humor and jest. Yeah, correct. Not really... And I don't mean it, but just to your point. So I'm guessing clearly they would have had someone there within the organized by the BCCI to conduct. I mean, there's so many specialist trainers anywhere in the world, and London, out of all the places, will have a lot of them who could have supervised it. That's what you're saying. So what is the question that you're asking today?
It's not just a question, and I'm glad I'm not the only one asking this question. We've done that story already. I was looking at some of the comments that we got on that story, and if you just pick up the phone, you go on Twitter, you see what the buzz around this is. There are many people asking whether this is... We speak of politicians enjoying VIP culture in a democracy which should have no room for VIP culture. why is all of this happening in Indian cricket? And yes, we as a sporting nation should have top athletes, elite athletes. Virat Kohli is definitely one of them. But an elite athlete with a VIP culture is not what we want, perhaps, is the question that everyone's asking. So why different strokes for different folks? That's the question that Aam Janta is raising.
No, but what is the question you are asking on the dugout?
I'm asking them very much the same question here on the dugout. That why are we doing this? Is BCCI not guilty of having VIP culture? It is very guilty of having BCCI VIP culture for a while now. It's nothing new, but we're not doing anything to stop it. This report that has surfaced this morning is only an extension of the pre-existing VIP culture. It's a new...
You're answering the question. I want to know what is the question that you're asking everyone today. There has to be a question that we debate on, right? What is the question for the day?
Virat Kohli's cleared his fitness test, but it's happened away from India. So, are we good with these exceptions being created for a couple of athletes, or are we not? That's the mudda.
You guys also let us know. That's the question that Harshit has posed today on the dugout. You let us know, what do you make of it? Maybe if Pawan can put that as a poll, and
that is this too harsh or is this not too harsh?
So I don't know. You can also let us know if there's a harsh question that Harshit has posted also. Is it fair for you to be asking this question that VIP culture for Virat? I don't know. Some people might think that it's very harsh.
I don't know. We'll delve into this discussion, but I at the outset don't think it's a harsh question to ask. Like, if you and I are stakeholders in Indian cricket, then why just a little Hindi analogy over here. It's not a harsh question if you ask me. It's like, little whack, a little thappad that you get from your mother. There's some love in it, but it's coming out of concern as well.
So you're saying there is a point also made and it's not harsh also. That's what your question is.
Yeah.
Like Maka Thappad, which is, it's not harsh. You don't feel insulted.
But you need it as well.
You don't feel insulted, but it makes its point.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? That's the question you posed.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting analogy that Harshit, clearly it's not his original. He must have borrowed it from someone.
Yeah, I struggle at times, but I'm glad that I have good support here from people both on camera and off
So
camera.
who did you borrow this from?
The one person behind the camera today, and that is Pawan today.
Oh, our producer Pawan came up with it. Well done, Pawan. Very nice analogy that you have come up with. So that's the question that we're posing for everyone, and of course we will all have our own opinion on that. But we'd love to know from you as well. I'm just checking whether Pawan has already put that question on thing. The question is, Virat's fitness test has happened in England, as Harshit has reported. Why this special treatment? That's the question. You guys let us know. So since you have posed the question, let's start with you. Why this special treatment?
See, as I said,
Is it surprises you, or then it would have happened? No, it's Virat Kohli. At the end of the day, many will say he's not an ordinary player as well. He's Virat Kohli. He is special. So
he's a special player on the field, and I want to see him special on the field. I don't want to see him being treated specially. Also, because I am not of the opinion that it sends across the right message. Are we to, that way? Is there's so much that can be said about things that maybe others would have won. There are others who won the IPL title before Virat Kohli did. There are some who did once, twice. There are people around him who've done it 5 times before him. Did we treat anyone differently? There are people in this very squad, the time that Virat was also playing, who had won, let's say, trophy here and there before he did not win that particular trophy. The T20 World Cup, for example, Virat Kohli wasn't part of it. Rohit Sharma was. So did we start treating anyone specially? So if this is to do, yes, Virat's achievements, and I know where he gets that elite status from, and yes, he is an elite athlete. He's there. Like, we don't have to wax lyricals about Virat Kohli, the cricketer, but he's representing the Indian cricket team here, and the Indian cricket team cannot have exceptions, because this is where...
So you have exceptions. Now, just to point it out, you said Indian cricket team can't have. I mean, and I'm not disputing it. Let's take Jasprit Bumrah as an example. I am also of the opinion that he is a special talent and he needs to be looked at differently you will have to make an exception. While everyone else is past fit for the entire series.
That is workload.
No, but even there, see, the thing is that when you, let's say, take Shami for example. Shami, the reason he was not picked is why? It's not that Shami is not a good bowler, he won't do well in test, because they said that maybe he cannot take the workload of test match cricket. That's the reason that he was also not, considered for. So you have strict rules, and you'll have this strict rule for anyone, whether you're Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, whoever would have had. But for Jasprit Bumrah, see, seldom does it happen that before a series you've already said fine, he can only be available for 3 test matches, and you were fine with it. I don't think any other bowler will get that luxury, and I'm quite frankly in that to an extent was fine with it, because I think India needs Jasprit Bumrah. He is the best fast bowler that there is in the world, arguably one of the greatest to have, and if I'm the captain, I want to use him in whichever way possible. If he is available for 3 tests or so on and so forth, I'll take it. So when we agree to that exception, my question to you is, just as Bumrah is special, so is Virat. What's the issue with this exception then?
Again, what we were talking about till now, all those examples you gave were all on-field, considerations in mind, right? This was a matter of convenience versus inconvenience. Why are we even having this conversation? Why was the exception created? The genesis of it is the fact that he's not here and he's spending more time overseas, which I'm fine with. I have no problem at all. He's as much a citizen of the country as I am. He pays much more tax than I do. He's far more Indian than I may be. Whatever it is.
No.
He plays for the Indian team.
No.
Whatever. I'm just saying, I am not the same bracket. Basically, my point being, Virat, he's represented us. He's represented what we feel towards this nation. So, whatever. However, this is just an exception being made, but it is his choice. If he knows that there will be a test so and so, you plan accordingly, right? You are part of a team. You cannot be above the team. That's my thing. And if the entire team, nobody lives in the neighborhood of the NCA, right? There is everyone who's done some sort of travel, right? Somebody flying from Mumbai would have had a 45-minute or an hour-long travel to do, a flight to take. Somebody would have traveled from Jaipur, would have had a 2.5-hour flight to take to Bengaluru, right? So there are people, it would have caused inconvenience to 15 others of his teammates as well, but they all came, right? No. So in a team, the rules apply the same to everyone, and Virat Kohli is as much a part of this team as anyone else. So if that meant taking an 8-hour flight vis-a-vis or a 6.5-hour flight from London, then I think the rules should have applied to him as well. If there's somebody taking a 2.5-hour flight, it's his choice as well at the end of the day. But he's part of the team, and you do whatever everyone in the team does.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, nowadays, players take a lot of flights, even for one-day sponsor commitment. So it's not even the distance of flight. While many might say that, oh, London is too far. In today's day and age, you have situations where celebrities, VIPs, they are having their breakfast in India, lunch in London, dinner in New York. That sort of a thing exists right now. So many of them just fly in and fly out for a sponsor commitment. So, this hectic lifestyle or traveling so much is not something that's unusual or they're not used to. So even I don't buy that argument, and I in a way agree with you that you can't see, because then you are opening the floodgates. If you allow this one time, then what stops Rohit Sharma the next time to say that, listen, I'm not coming to NCA. You assign a person here to do in Mumbai. For some to say that, listen, I'm on a holiday in Bali, and you send someone here to do the test. What I think you've made sure is that there is a center of excellence for that. And why all of this really surprises me, because what we've seen in the last few months or a year or so is that you've tried to streamline things, and BCCI has taken a lot of harsh stand, and they've not made exceptions for big players, which sometimes used to be made. For example, when that diktat came about families, it came for everyone. No exceptions were made, whether you are Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah, or you are a newbie in Yashasvi Jaiswal or anyone. Everyone was looked at the same way. A rule came and it was said, this is how it is. Even though there exists some sort of, rules where captains used to be given the suite and they were allowed some luxuries in the past, they changed all that. Then you've also seen a current scenario in Indian cricket where you used to say that star players cannot be told about their position in the team. We now know that you got a chairman of selectors who have the courage to go and speak to the players, no matter how high profile they were, and made them aware of where their position in the team is, what their performance is, how much are they part of the team plans. And you did it so that you wanted to have this parity. You said you didn't want to have this VIP culture, whether it came to the team, whether it came to performances. Then you moved another level where you started taking stern step where people who did not step in for domestic cricket, you penalized them. You did it with an Ishan Kishan, Shreyas Iyer, so much so that Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, after years were playing Ranji Trophy, especially Virat. I don't know after how many years he played. He came and played a match here. That's another thing that he retired after Test cricket. So it did seem like that there were rules, and no matter who you are, in the food chain, you had to abide by it. And so you thought that the BCCI has taken this step. Now comes a situation where you made this exception. I don't know whether it's and what could have caused this to have happened. And I was also thinking, how come the BCCI, who till now had said no, they'd put their foot down, how is it they allowed this to happen? Possibly it is because BCCI is a headless chicken right now, and that is because you had Jay Shah, who was the secretary till very recently, who was running the show, and some of these steps were taken while he was in charge. Now he's moved over to the ICC. You have a new secretary, and you had a president in Roger Binny, and those trends still continued. Today you are in a stage where for the last few weeks, Roger Binny is not even the president. You have an interim president where Rajiv Shukla has been given the right now the interim in charge of the BCCI. And the thing is, see, this is what happens. So no one was made aware of this transition. There was nothing, there's no press release, there is nothing. Are you not supposed to inform? The BCCI has taken that decision, and it's within the, you may be a private entity, but you're running an Indian team. And it's a team of the entire country. All of this has to be made aware of. Is there a vacuum there in terms of leadership in administration that has allowed this, that these exceptions have been made? Possibly that. Had a full-fledged BCCI been working as it was, now in September only this month, I believe they're going to have the SGM where they're going to be having elections, and the next president comes. So maybe are you waiting in that interim period, the next president comes, then maybe you have a setup. So whenever there has been a bit of transition of power or interim in charge, as you know, as it happened during the Committee of Administration as well, when they were there, a lot of things were done which players could pick and choose, which the past administrators in Ayaz Bindra to the Jagmohan Dalmias to the N. Srinivasans of the world wouldn't have allowed. Interesting, I'm talking about N. Srinivasan, who's making a return to cricket administration. He's come back as in charge of CSK, and he's going to look at their interest in not just in IPL but across leagues. So that's interesting. But while they were there, at least these ad hoc decisions could not be taken, and these exceptions couldn't have been done. So maybe, I guess, because whatever messaging we got from BCCI till very recently, this is an exception to that. This is a direct conflict to what had been happening so far, that you make this exception where one fitness test is happening, so as to say Saat Samundar Par.
I don't know. So I don't know if the secretary really would have been the signing authority on this one, even if there was, let's say, or the president, a full-time president would have been the signing authority on such an exception. This is, I wish I knew that modality as to how these modalities really
I'm
work.
not saying, I don't know whether the signing authority, but there has to be a vacuum to have allowed this now. How is it that the BCCI who till now, and and we had reported this, that the senior players weren't happy with this decision about the family. Yeah. They weren't, but the BCCI put its foot down. Yeah. How is that BCCI who allowed the selectors to have this conversation where by Rohit Sharma then retires from Test cricket? So those are stern steps. How is it suddenly you making an exception now?
My thing being, see, if clearly the memo had gone to every player, right? Most players went. There is, as I understand, a batch of players who will be going again. Perhaps, and those, I think a Jadeja will be going once again.
No, those are the players that is not an exception being made.
but that's
They
not
have
an
to go.
exception.
They are not fit right now.
Yes.
So they're not
Rishabh
fit
Pant
enough to be going through a
through
fitness.
it,
So what's the
exactly.
point of them? So they've been
Yes.
said, okay, you need a little longer time.
Yeah.
So you know, you get fit and then come for the
So-
fitness. That's not what has happened.
Yeah, that's not what's happened, and that's because I think I read a few comments over there where people were questioning as to why we are not mentioning that, because
Yeah.
factually that is not an exception. These are players where Rishabh Pant is also, part
They
of
have a
that
niggle
list.
at the moment.
Yes.
That includes KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja. They have a niggle at the moment. They are not fit enough to go through it. That's another matter altogether.
Yeah.
You can always let them. So they've said, okay, for you, the timeline gets extended and such date you have to go through.
while
But they
there
will
is-
have to go to the NCA.
NCA.
For Jadeja, the test will not happen in Rajkot. For Rahul, it won't happen in Bengaluru.
Correct.
Oh no, actually it will happen. But that's another thing, he stays there.
Yeah.
For Pant, it will not happen in Delhi.
Yes.
He'll have to go there.
My point being that while that vacuum's there, it's for journalists like you and me to know that this vacuum's there and all. But my point being, while it may be there, the memo still went to every player, everyone who's associated and is relevant at the moment to Indian cricket, and of course Virat Kohli is one of them, and just as much as the others are. So the others reached. Despite the vacuum being there, the others also could have done this, right? No, you give me this
They
exception here. No,
but
you
they
give me
didn't
this.
ask. You didn't know. No, they can take that exception. No?
But Virat,
You didn't know there is, biryani, let's say in office today, everyone is paying a hefty price. You didn't know if you said that, I work in the sports department, the guy is a fan, he'll give you 50% off. So, but you asked, and so he gave it. Then the rest of them paid full price. They didn't know that this could have been done, right? The one who asked got that chance. So it's clearly couldn't have been BCCI that would have offered, Virat, that he would have requested, and that request was granted. And maybe now that's why I said it's a wrong precedent. Now on, maybe if they see this is what is or how it is, maybe then everyone might ask, wherever I'm on a holiday in some other place and I don't want to, break my holiday, why don't you organize it in Bali if I'm there, or I'm in Venice right now enjoying a holiday, do a test there.
Because this is how, it sounds very ad hoc, it sounds very anarchic to me.
But you and I are on the same page, and both of us see that this exception shouldn't have been made. But I just look at our poll, and majority of the people there think that no, it's justified that for Virat for the test to have happened, especially in London,
this is
fine. Then,
while I respect your opinion, but I'm disappointed as well. I won't reserve my thoughts over there, because with the same people, when it comes to asking our representatives, and if you're representing the Indian team, I look at it the same way as so many things that need representation in our democracy. We ask for there to be no VIP culture, and we have a thing against that, because it's a country full of commoners. It's a country that fought for its own freedom, and there can't be any room for such VIP culture in a democracy as vibrant as ours, because that has not been the foundation stone of this democracy. So I don't like it in our democracy, and I don't like it to happen in Indian cricket as well. So just that school of thought that I come from.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what everyone else has to say. The poll is overwhelmingly not overwhelmingly. It's close actually, 53 to 47, where majority think it's fine. He should be allowed this.
Yeah.
By that logic, then you make it for everyone. Huh? Only fair.
No.
So if
fair.
No, but then I understand. Now then, sometime you're there, I allow you do morning rap from home, or
but we eventually
if I'm out somewhere, I'll join Dugout via Zoom link. If we allow it for everyone, then maybe allow for players as well.
Yeah. The Zoom tests have been done on Zoom. Okay, I'm opening my camera. You please come with the stopwatch. Let's do the yo-yo test. It's a team, it's a sport, and we're trying to be the most disciplined and the best team out there, or or are we going to do this? Again, I don't remember there being one story of a Ronaldo saying that my recovery is going to happen here, my gym is going to happen here. Messi saying no, I will train only here, I will not train with the team. I don't remember reading any such story like that. Questions? Okay, let's go with the first one. It comes from Duck Reacts or Duke Reacts.
Yeah,
it is Duke Reacts. I'm sorry, it's Duke Reacts. Says that RCB is a defiant. Perhaps they had embargoed players, including Virat Kohli, to issue any statements in individual capacity until RCB was even ready. Now RCB posted the statement, so maybe RCB is micromanaging.
I questioned you. Can RCB tell Virat when to issue statement and not?
Absolutely not.
And should they even be allowed to do it? I mean, if as an individual, if he has something to say about a issue that may have affected him, I don't think any franchise can dictate that or monitor that.
Yeah.
If Virat wanted to mention, I don't think RCB could have stopped him.
No, so earlier, just issuing a statement which was as short as I'm short of words right now is also a statement, right?
Plus, I could okay, fine. Sometimes you say legal opinion comes that okay, the matter is sub judice, don't say. But then even this statement has come before the verdict is out. Yeah. So then technically that nothing has changed. Fine. The only argument you could have made is once everything is out, the courts have decided, we'll say it. That's also not happened.
Yeah.
But you must remember a few of RCB officials were taken to jail.
Yeah.
They were released on bail. So
they are presently on bail.
Yeah.
Duke reacts with another one, says that the perks enjoyed by Virat are the perks enjoyed by anyone at the top of their game. Players may get motivated to reach Virat Kohli's level so they can enjoy such incentives. What is this fuss about? Please chill.
Answer.
This is exactly the problem. This is
the exact question I asked you when you gave that title.
See, again, please go read up, and I'm trying to be very respectful over here. Please do read about what anarchy has done to the world and what anarchy has done to sporting entities as well. This is exactly how anarchy begins, and you don't reach anywhere in an anarchy. So just try reading up a bit about that and the Indian cricket setup as well. I hope you, if you're here, I'm guessing you're somebody who prays well for the Indian team. This in any sporting entity will always be frowned upon and should be frowned upon because it's a team. It works just as your organization would work. My organization works. There are rules that we all need to live by and follow, and big teams become big teams because of that.
And I will tell you, Duke, I mean, we are all huge fans. At least I'm a big fan of Virat Kohli. A lot of fans
please don't be mistaken about that.
Praised him for what he has achieved. But I don't know. I mean, it's also our job to call a spade. And it's only fair. And we've tried to be as unbiased as possible with regards to everyone, even the ones that we really admire. But if we do see that, there is a lapse there which can... And the reason we talk about it is those lapses can be rectified, and going forward you don't have those lapses, whether it is at an administrative level or at a personal level. That's what we discuss.
Yeah. There's a third one that we have from Duke. Says that it's a matter of convenience and logistics. He asked for the exemption. BCCI gave it to him. Bottom line is that the fitness test is that he did the fitness test. Where he did it is inconsequential.
No. I don't think so. I don't think it's inconsequential because, as I said, it sets a wrong precedent from here on. Then everyone would want to. Then you extend that courtesy to everyone and allow everyone then to do the fitness test anywhere they want. Until now, it was never the case. Fitness tests were being done there, and that includes Virat as well. Even he has previously gone and done that. So, I don't know. Then by that logic, then don't have these norms about domestic cricket as well. Big stars, let the big players then prepare for a series the way they best can. They also know, they've performed at the highest level. Why do you have to have a rule But the reason you had that rule for domestic cricket is because you're saying if they don't play, then it sets a wrong example. Everyone else will start skipping. So you ensured the big guns play, not because you want to see their form. I think they're good enough players to prepare in the right way, and they know how to prepare for series. So it's not even you're forcing them to prepare for a series. It's about setting the right examples, and if that can happen there, then it should continue to happen. Then if you think players are good enough or some deserve that exception, then allow that for everyone. Then senior players, then you allow them families also. Why did you have to come up with a rule that no one's family can go or can only be there on a tour for X amount of days, not the entire days? I think those things also need to be looked at.
Anshul tells us, says, no, it's this particular statement that we had put out was by RCB Cares. They posted off Virat Kohli, Rajat Patidar. Virat Kohli even now isn't active on socials at all. Even Wimbledon, he didn't post anything. And everyone can't be treated the same way always. Again, I think most things right, barring the last line.
Yeah, everything, while this statement, but my point is we are the ones who established that it was sent by RCB. But nothing stops. I would have liked as a RCB fan or someone who got affected by what happened there, that a statement came out earlier. RCB doesn't have to dictate that. I don't have to wait for RCB to do it. I could do it at a personal level. And I'm just looking at Virat. He is a brand by himself who's as big as RCB, and just a few words from him also would be as soothing as words that are coming from RCB. Let's be fair.
I do remember, since we've talked about this whole thing, remember this time that the last yo-yo set of yo-yo test results were being talked about. And the BCCI wasn't happy with Virat because he'd taken to Instagram, I think he'd posted his result, while the BCCI had wanted to keep it under wraps.
Yeah.
So if he's wanted
and after that, he stopped posting anything on social media, personal things.
Yes. So if it's about, see, two different cases and very different from each other in terms of sensitivity of the matter as well. But if this is about, going against the directive, Virat has done that. We knew, I think we were in this office at that time where we were all surprised by Virat taking to Instagram and putting that stuff.
So that's why I'm saying, what has really changed in the BCCI? That BCCI who pulled him up for just putting his score is now making an exception of having a test. I mean, while we're talking about the players, I think the bigger issue lies with the BCCI for allowing this. And I think the bigger question should be asked to them. And that's why I said maybe that vacuum that they have right now in leadership, which is allowing them to do that.
Vishal Panchal, a little off the topic, but we'll still address what he says that Sanju plus Dravid is the equivalent of Ganguly and Chappell, feels very extreme. Management pushed for certain players. Dravid had no choice. Why so much hype for that player? He's no Bradman. No.
Again, it's not a question of course, nobody is Bradman, by the way. And so clearly isn't Sanju Samsung. But what I think the meaning of that was that the environment within the team had become that. And again, if you listen to the entire discussion, I'd also said that sometime you were unfair to Rahul Dravid also during Chappell's time, or you looked at Chappell differently, you looked at Dravid differently. So the many layers within the larger picture, and you have to look at all of that. And what we said was that the team environment had deteriorated for whatever the reasons, which we've dwelled into, and the reasons were very different what happened to Indian cricket and what happened in Rajasthan Royals, but the eventual result was the same in the sense the mistrust between each member of the player was quite similar then, and it was similar now. So the overall feeling was pretty much the same as to what happened with the Indian team at that time and what was happening with Rajasthan. But of course, the underlying reasons were very different.
Duke Reacts comes back with another thought. He says that let's stop Aussie Prime Minister to not give special treatment to Virat, brands to not pay him more, Djokovic to not post about Virat Kohli, or stop the foreign minister to not take Virat Kohli's signed bat when he visits Commonwealth leaders. But
what kind of an argument is that?
Exactly, I don't get that as a solid argument in any way.
It's the most, no offense, but most churlish there. So then, by that logic, everyone then needs to be treated in terms of their popularity where they are. Of course, brands paid different players or prime ministers spend different time with different people is completely valid of what their stature is. But at the end of the day, when you're in a team scenario, so I mean, take that for any sport. If Messi is standing with the Argentina team, whoever is the president who's going to be speaking will speak most to him only, na? He's the biggest name that there is. He'll have more endorsement than everyone else. Na? That cannot be the same. That everyone understand. But that in no way can in a team sport you can have different physical standard or different times of reporting for a camp or various things. You don't do that. That doesn't happen anywhere in the world. I mean, if you've and I'm sure I've watched sports much longer than you have. Across sport, that doesn't happen. You can be Usain Bolt, you have to go through the trial of the Jamaican national trials. And if you don't win those trials, you will not run in the Olympics. Doesn't matter you won 2 gold medals in the Olympic and the fastest man on the planet. You have to go through it. And when the trials will happen, you will have to go to the national stadium in Kingston to give those trials. You can't stay there, now I'm staying in Europe. You come here and I'll give my trial here. I'm the fastest man in the world and I'll do it. It just doesn't happen. But of course, if the whole Jamaican relay team is standing and if I'm in USA and Trump is the president, obviously he'll speak to Usain Bolt only the most. But that doesn't matter, that Bolt doesn't have to go through the trials in Kingston. He has to. Simple.
Also, I'm not saying with that, and I know what you're talking about, Joko would not have posted. I am not saying that is the case over here, that top athletes don't have a bond. We've often seen that happen, but can I tell you, this is all part of marketing collaborations.
No, but I'm saying even if it is not,
yeah, that's
how does that matter?
Yeah, so just don't fall for everything that you see on Instagram.
Next day I will say, hello, I am not playing this. I'm X5. Hello, I'm not coming and playing for this domestic game. Why? Somebody asked me why are you not playing? Because didn't you see? I just had a picture with Cristiano Ronaldo. He posted one picture with me. So I am not like everybody. Ronaldo has put a picture. You sent to me. How did that happen?
This whole Indian team will be at the window. No, we met Manchester United players. We went to their facility. We've trained over there. Now we play cricket over there. We're not going to do all these tests and all now. So it doesn't work like that, yeah. That was one of the biggest collabs we saw in recent times. But anyhow, Duke reacts, whosoever you are, wherever you are, I just think it needs for some introspection. All of these thoughts call for some introspection, and we hope we've been able to talk you out of those thoughts. But
no, he can keep those thoughts entirely up to him.
But even if not, take good care. Shubham Garg says Arshdeep keeps going to keeps posting NCA videos. Most of the players' families were present on full England tour, but yeah, if VK gets some treatment, it becomes a topic of discussion.
Again, you're comparing apples with oranges. Compare apples with apples. Huh? Players whose families are there are not being. You have to make a distinction. BCCI cannot stop anyone's family from not coming. BCCI had an objection that they cannot be staying in the team hotels and they cannot be on the kharcha of BCCI where travel, stay, rooms, everything was managed by BCCI. Privately, you want to have, if I'm a player who wants to have 500 people travel with me, my whole, mohalla from my city, wherever I may be, and I want to take everyone I can. I just book a different hotel for them. I pay for their flights. They'll come and they'll watch. You can't stop. That's not what BCCI said. What are you even comparing? And how does that compare to this? Makes no sense.
Apples, oranges.
And I'm just sorry. That's why I tell a lot of people, be fans of a sport. Don't get obsessed with players. And if you do that, you will start seeing things differently, which will be detrimental to the sport per se. All of us today are here together. You enjoy the conversation, we talk, is only because of one sport, that's cricket. And by an extension, Indian cricket, right? And as long as you put Indian cricket first and then everyone else, and whoever that is, every player who's played from Gavaskars to Kapil Devs to MS Dhoni to Sachin Tendulkar, the ones that we're talking about are not the only stars. They've been bigger stars in the past as well. Whoever have been there, if I start putting them and making exceptions beyond Indian cricket, and I put them above the sport, and that's a recipe for disaster. And that goes across in any profession that you talk about. You have to put the sum of its part as the most important, and not just those parts. Not a single part can be made to look differently and given special treatment. Doesn't happen. Other kind of special treatment that happens beyond the field is there, of course. It will always be there. That someone gets mobbed and other doesn't get mobbed. Or someone gets, can afford a much fancier car to drive, the other cannot. That's fine. That's part of life. That happens between you and I. You and our neighbors also may be different. But in a workspace, in a work environment, especially in a team sport environment, when it comes to the field, you have to judge everyone in the same way and have same rules.
Shubham Garg says that the NC is a place where players are expected to work with trainers and get fit. So why players like Rohit, KL are doing fitness training with, let's say, Abhishek Nair, which was the case with...
that's not true.
And how is that not special treatment is what he says?
No, that's not true. It is a place, if you so desire, you want any facility, you can be offered. But if you can get facilities on your own and you want to work, you can. Your injury rehab is done in NCA. A lot of players keep visiting that NCA for your rehab. When you need rehab, when they can have a closer look at you. So you can do your own physiotherapy, whatever other places, but you have to keep reporting back there where they can follow your trajectory. It is done.
Duke Reacts has come back with another thought. He says that I am at a leadership role in a Big Four firm. I do enjoy special privileges in terms of leaves, bonuses, etc. By that logic, put all cricketers in the same pay grade.
No, you don't. Again, apples. They are so if you're talking about you're in a leadership role, you have to compare yourself with everyone in that leadership role, right? They all get that same privileges. Now, when you're going to look at a different thing, that will be the players that are not playing for India, not a contracted player. They come the second in line. They don't get the same privileges as contracted players. Then there is another set of players that have never played for India or not even in contention. They don't even get those sort of facility. They're in the third grade. They don't even get to enjoy NCA facilities. And there are players who are just at the domestic level, not in contention or ever played even for an India A team. They come in those are different categories, and then there are different rules for those players. The Indian team as a whole is looked at separately, and to break it into corporate parlance, and that's the leadership role sort of a thing.
Yeah, it'd be unfair. This is where I think you'll probably get this. That if whatever leadership that you're on at the moment, and you're not the only one, right? There's other people who form a part of that leadership role. If there's certain privileges the others aren't getting, but you're getting, tell me if that's the case. But if you all are in that same bracket, you'll all be treated evenly. And there has to be people above you and beneath you as well. And there has to be uniformity then within those groups as well. And I'm pretty sure that's how it happens at your workplace as well. We'll take the next one now. This one comes from...
like on X, I've got a comment from Gurpreet Chima, and he says, if Virat's fitness in London is true, then that's insulting for Indian cricket. You can't have players behaving like this, whoever you are, even if you are God. After that, he's written a few unparliamentary things, which I'm not taking. But the censored version I've taken. Next.
Let's take the next one from AI Platform Fan Club. Says, good example, it says score 80 plus, hundreds so far. It says 80 plus 100 so far, win 3 player of the tournaments in World Cups, win 4 events, then you can't be treated the same way as a debutant. You treat Boom differently, you look at Rowe and Sarfaraz fitness differently. So he's saying that anyway things are happening differently, but that's what we said. Again, Boom is not being treated differently for all these things. Boom is being treated differently for everything on field. That is the conversation that we had AI Platform. And Rowe and Sarfaraz fitness differently. The day that they don't clear the fitness test, that is when you will hear from us. and you will hear from the BCCI. They're clearing it enough. And why even talk about Sarfaraz here? Hasn't Sarfaraz lost all the weight that you wanted him to lose always? Isn't he looking the way that so many of you wanted to look, regardless of him piling on 1,000+ runs in Ranji season after season? Duke reacts with another one, says, by this logic, Olympics shouldn't make Virat Kohli their face. BCCI should not post about Virat Kohli in their promo spots, any more promotional spots. This is again, now Duke reacts is just not making sense to me.
Okay, let's read the comment. He says, by this logic, Olympics shouldn't make VK their face. I mean,
that's, my chain of thought broke exactly there.
BCCI not post about VK in their promo spots anymore.
He's making it sound like everyone owes it to Virat as well, because
so it's saying, bro, it's the Moolah European which decide the value of it. So he's saying because Virat is so special. So Duke reacts, you're right. So Virat is bigger than everyone else. It's not a battle of equal. Let's make exceptions for him. He can choose to do what he wants. Best of luck to you, and I hope with your philosophy, Indian cricket flourishes in the future.
I'm going to take AJ's now. I'm sorry, DK reacts. I'm not taking your last one. There's others as well.
No, quickly, why not? He sent it. Good initiative by BCCI. Maybe others who want to enjoy this perk will try and get 28k runs. 3 player of the tournaments, 15 ICC man of the match, 40 test wins as captain. MOM in finals too. So now players need to get motivated by this, so that then by your logic they can then skip fitness test and special arrangement can be made. So that should be their motive. And motive of playing for your country and winning is not enough already. So that will not motivate them to be the best. But to get exception from these tournaments, maybe
skipping a flight or whatever, I think players are motivated far beyond, and you are underestimating the motivation of the players. Okay, AJ, that's cheeky, and maybe Nikhil can answer that to you on his phone. But
no, wait, take his comment. AJ says, Nikhil sir, which hookah can lead me to Team India? AJ, I have no idea about what you're talking.
Bhargav, the person who started all of this.
I have
get into his
I don't
DMs.
Even know the person who's asked, so I have no idea.
I'm telling AJ, he can write into that person's DMs, slip into that person's DM.
I have no idea whose person, which person. I have no idea about what he's talking. So how do I suggest which person, what person? Bhargav says, Virat asked for permission and BCCI agreed. Agar Mia Bibi Razi, to kya karega Kazi? Is it another media trial for VK? Doesn't matter, Bhargav, if Mia Bibi is Razi, to kya karega? That way, then we should not be selecting, raising a question about selection also. Isn't it? Captain has agreed, coach has agreed, selector has agreed, Mia Bibi Razi. Why you guys keep sending comments that Shreyas Iyer did not get picked? Or why Sarfaraz ke saath, why they're doing this? Or why Yashasvi Jaiswal is not there? Why X is not made vice captain? Why are they doing this with Bumrah? Don't ask. BCCI is fine. Player is fine. Everyone is fine. Captain is fine. Coaches, then everyone is Razi. Sit and chill. Follow everything that is told to you. Why do you question? Why do you question the government then at different levels? Nah? Yeah. A lot of you write to us, not going to watch India, Pakistan. Then Indian government is fine. Pakistan government is fine.
What is your problem?
BCCI is fine. PCB is fine. Asian Cricket Council is fine. Mia Bibi Raj is done. Why do you guys keep commenting then? Sit and watch the match. Don't complain. Simple.
Are we supposed to take the other one?
He says selected Indian team by contacting captain friend because captain wasn't available. So as Indian cricket, we always push lines for favorite ones. AJ, again, I'm not aware of what you're referring to, so sorry, can't comment on that. Sobam Sai says, out of topic, does Rohit as captain winning 2 ICC trophy hold any importance in Indian cricket legacy? Until the ICC trophy was not won, everyone said ICC trophy is priority. We got it. Test is important. No, of course, Sobam, he'll go down in history as one of India's finest captain. Will he be the #1 captain? I don't think so, not in my list, but he'll go down as one of the finest captain. Who knows, that might change. I think he should captain 2027 World Cup. If he wins that, that will put him in the league for the top 3 captains, and that will be a big debate. So, but yeah, if I had to make a list of India's 5, 6, 7 captains, the best captains they've had, he'll definitely be there in my list.
Pawan, you'll just
Next big thing is saying, President requests Messi out of retirement. Please see Dravid recent show how to win World Cup. He said, I'll ask many times, youth as compared to a great. If skip, they practice, can't be treated the same way. Yes, of course they cannot, but that's not a fitness test, that is practice, and to each player you'd be looked at differently. But a lot of times players are taken, and it's not even senior junior, sometimes the workload where they are in their fitness, that's how your practice schedule. So for example, a lot of time fast bowlers are not, they're not practicing even 2-3 days leading up to. Batters are, but that's primarily because you have to look at them differently. That's very different to what we're talking now. This was a setup where everyone could have participated. Duke Reacts said, what's this take good care jibe? No, I don't think that was a jibe at all, Duke Reacts. I think it was all said in, in good faith, I think. And just as you're expressing your opinion, so is he. There's nothing. See, Duke, I mean, we're not also entitled to be answering your question. If you're going to get nasty, I don't think anyone was really nasty to you. If you're going to get nasty, we won't take any of your comments. Right? You're free to address it to anyone else. But I don't think anyone was nasty. We're trying to explain to you very politely, and we tried to explain to you multiple times as well. You watch the show. No, I mean, we're happy that you watched the show, and thank you very much for it. And, again, just as you watch it because you enjoy it, we also don't ask you for anything, right? You're not paying a subscription fee or something. So, just that. And I think Duke Reacts, you're being far more mean than he ever was. I mean, if anyone really needs to correct himself, it's you and not him. Big Boy Toys says, guys, if this is the case, why not let AI handle BCCI and NCA? It's not about popularity. There's one player who's proven for decades that he always works for BCCI as best, and BCCI understands him. No, Big Boy, I think it's again a very unfair thing. Please tell me one player who's not giving his best. Which is that one player? Each player has different ability of talent. Each player has different results, temperament, everything. But please tell me that BCCI looks at everything differently, then which player is not giving his best? And the player who doesn't give his best or is casual is out of the team anyway. So everyone is giving their best. Nah? That's first. 2, if these exceptions had to be made, you should have made other exceptions. Why did you force Virat Kohli to play a domestic game? You did. We all know that. Why Virat was not happy when this rule about families came? Why did you have this special thing for him? Shouldn't have had. You should have allowed him. You should have told other guys, you're not allowed. Sorry, you're inferior. You've not got 28,000 runs, and Djokovic does not put a post about you. You don't have that much endorsement. So sorry, your families cannot come. Hard luck. But Virat, they didn't do that, na? Can't understand the logic. Duke says, for the Mia Bivi Razi comment, applying the selection analogy is so flawed in selection. The players who are ignored despite merit are an aggrieved party. In VK Fitness, who is the aggrieved party? Just go down, please. Who is the aggrieved party? How does that matter whether it is the aggrieved party or not? You are a contracted player, na? If you're not happy with it, you step out. And who is the aggrieved party right now? Indian cricket is the aggrieved party right now. That is what it is. And by the way, and the reason we are raising the question, BCCI should be the aggrieved party. They should be the aggrieved party right now in this case.
And also, again, the analogy was absolutely right. I'll tell you why. Because it's not about finding an aggrieved party. It's about fairness, consistency, uniformity.
And
that needs to happen.
You should, be the last person to talk about a correct analogy. Your analogy of that Joko and all, the less said the better. I mean, so.
Big Boys Toys says that BCCI changed retention rule for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. This is nothing.
Yeah, so you're correct. And did we not do a show around it? I think we pointed that out 100 times. And I think that is being fair. It doesn't matter whether it is about Rohit Sharma, MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli or anybody else. That is exactly what our point is. Because for a lot of you who are fanboys, I don't think we are. And clearly, it's also not your day job to be that. So you can be fanboys. That's absolutely fine. But as far as I've known, in the 20 plus years that I've been working in cricket and coverage of cricket, I've only learned one thing, that you can appreciate a player. I'm also a big fan of a lot of them, but I've had to report, and things that I've seen which have been wrong, even by the greatest of players, I've reported on that. I don't think there's been a greater player than Sachin Tendulkar, and there have been certain stories that I've reported which were anti him as well, because that's been my job. But that's not to say that I've always been negative. 80-90% of the time I've been very appreciative of what he's done. But there have been on occasions where you thought that certain things were done and you did point that out. And same for MS Dhoni. I share a very good relationship with him, and he's one of the finest that we've had. I saw him make the debut live on the ground, and I've been lucky enough to, had a meal and share a cup of chai with him on multiple occasions. But when these things happened, by the way, I don't know how many of you even saw, I was there, I covered the 2013 match fixing scenario, and I think I was harsh on a lot of occasions to Chennai and MS. But then that was my profession. That's what I'm supposed to do. All my personal relationships will have to take a back seat.
Sarat Chandra says that he's shocked that in 4 years he's never seen such questions in the comment section on this channel, but today the viewers asked the worst questions and examples. I always thought here viewers are the best in thinking, but not today. I think that's a summation.
No, that's fine. I don't blame anyone. It's fine.
No,
Everyone has their own opinion. Why should... It's not about tu meme. It's not about them being right or us being right. You have an opinion, sure enough. We'll try and share with whatever little inside knowledge that we have with you guys as well. And you're free. We're not also doing this show to make you change your mind. Because I've realized over the years, and this is not just with this show, even when you sit in your house with 10 people, it's very... And it's not tough, it's impossible to convince anyone to see your side. Everyone has their own mindset. You can present your argument, they may appreciate it or run them down, but nobody will really change their mind. So don't worry about those things, it's okay. That's fine. Last couple of comments before we wind down. Okay, the poll, there has been a slight change in the poll. Unfair to other has now taken a lead. The justifies option which was leading has now been pipped. It's close, but it's still been pipped. Couple more comments. We've got DP says, India will never get out of the VIP culture. People who are defending BK here would shout when they had to face longer jams because a politician is going to the airport. Exactly my point.
Yes.
That's what I've said. That's why I tell people, for always, not just, it's got nothing to do with cricket. Always, whenever you see that there is something that's not adding up, stand up for it. Doesn't matter whether it is against someone who you like or you dislike. Your outrage should not be based on the person. It should be based on the issue. Person is incidental. At least that's what I think. Antonio Souza, thank you very much for your kind endorsement. Very well. Thank you. And there were a few comments. Last comment, Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan says, if this is allowed, BCCI far more at fault. I completely agree with you. And that's exactly what I said. Also, I feel there is more to this news. This looks half-baked. Maybe there will be a final fitness test on a later day. No, I don't think so. Just to let you know, that fitness test is done. The Bronco test, what we're hearing, is still not done for any of the players. And the Bronco test will still be done. But then that's going to be common for all. Maybe for that test, Virat is here. We don't know. But at least the yo-yo and the DEXA test, I think, has been done.
Happened, yeah.
Okay, on that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much. Sorry couldn't take all your comments, but we tried to fit in as much as we could. Give us a like if you enjoy our content. We love to have your thoughts as well. Whether you agree with us or disagree with it, doesn't matter. And we always enjoy everyone's company. We've said that. That's the whole purpose and the motive to have a conversation involving our viewers as well, and that's what we do. The final result is 52 say it's unfair, this special treatment. 47% says this is justified. On that note, take care, bye bye, good night, Nandri, Vanakkam, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair.
Eat your vegetables and don't trouble your mother. Bye bye.